In the middle of the ocean, a fishing boat hauls in a massive catch. But the fishermen are puzzled. The net feels far heavier than usual. When they cut it open, a gigantic fin wriggles among the fish. The men try to attack the creature, but it's too fast and aggressive. It injures one of the fishermen, Chris, before they finally manage to trap it below deck and lock it away. With no other choice, the captain, Sean, calls the military. Soldiers arrive quickly, securing the creature in a special container and flying it away by helicopter, along with the injured Chris. Meanwhile, in the small town of Bristol Cove, people celebrate a local legend about one of the town's founders who supposedly fell in love with a mermaid. After the parade, Ben, a marine biologist and descendant of the legendary founder, is at a bar when Sean, his son Xander, and Xander's friend Calvin approach. They want to talk about the strange creature they caught, but are too shaken to explain much. Instead, they point to a statue of a mermaid. Ben quickly understands what they mean but doesn't believe them. He thinks mermaids are only myths. Even when the fishermen show him footage of the creature attacking, he insists there must be another explanation. Meanwhile, at a military base, Admiral Harrison is briefed about the captured creature. Seeing it up close, he is stunned. It has a scaly tail, sharp eyes, and inhuman strength, yet its face, hands, and upper body look remarkably human. The next morning, Ben, his girlfriend Maddie, also a marine biologist, and some local friends are enjoying a park when they spot a torn-up fish in the water. Taking it to their lab, Ben and Maddie discover the bite marks don't match any known sea animal. Later that day, while driving home, Ben sees a naked woman appear suddenly in front of his truck. He slams the brakes and rushes to help her. She tries to run but collapses, forcing Ben to take her home. At his house, Ben gives the woman clothes and a meal. She seems confused by her surroundings, sniffs the food suspiciously, and eats like a wild animal. When Ben talks to her, she doesn't answer but hums a haunting melody that lodges itself in his mind. Moments later, when Ben opens the door to the local doctor, Abbott, the mysterious woman slips out the window and disappears. She spends the night in an abandoned boat and eats a live mouse for breakfast. The next day, she steals more clothes and roams the town, eventually encountering Helen, a shop owner who sells mermaid artifacts. Helen freezes when she sees the girl, as if recognizing her. Before they can talk, the girl walks away. Meanwhile, Ben searches the town, driven by the song echoing in his head. He sees the girl briefly speaking to Helen, but she vanishes before he can reach her. When Ben questions Helen, she leaves without answering, clearly frightened. Later, the girl visits the fishing boat that caught the mermaid. Flashbacks reveal that the captured creature was her friend. Soon after, she finds a pair of boots and wanders into a neighborhood. A boy watching a mermaid cartoon calls the animated character Rin. Hearing this, the girl repeats the name, adopting it for herself. Next, she sees a toy helicopter and remembers it as the thing that carried her friend away. She shows the toy to a stranger, pointing at it. The man offers her a ride but takes her to a secluded place and tries to assault her. Enraged, Rin kills him instantly with her bare hands. As she walks away, blood dripping from her jacket, her skin begins drying out. She hasn't touched water in too long. She heads to the research facility where Ben and Maddie work. Maddie, busy giving local children a wildlife tour, offers the kids fish food. While the kids recoil, Rin, watching from afar, devours it hungrily. When Maddie shows the children some friendly seals, they suddenly panic and try to escape after spotting Rin. Confused, Maddie takes the kids away just as Ben arrives and finally meets Rin face to face. Noticing her cracked, scaly skin, Ben promises to help. He introduces her to Maddie before Maddie leaves. That night, Ben steps out to call Abbott, but Rin's condition worsens. Her skin dries painfully and scales spread across her body. Desperate, she dives into the seal's pool. Submerged, she transforms completely. Her sharp teeth emerge, her scaly skin returns, and her legs fuse into a powerful tail. When Ben comes back, he sees her missing, checks the monitor, and spots her in the pool. Thinking she's drowning, he dives in, only to discover she's a real mermaid. Rin attacks instinctively, biting him. Ben fends her off with a metal bar and escapes the water, collapsing unconscious on the floor. Abbott eventually finds him. That night, shaken, Ben visits Helen's artifact shop. He asks if mermaids are real. Helen confirms they exist but warns that in water, they are instinctive hunters. She also reveals that Ben's ancestors once massacred mermaids, misunderstanding their nature. Haunted by this, Ben spends the night reading about his family's brutal history. The next morning, Sheriff Dale, Maddie's father, learns about the man Rin killed and starts investigating. Meanwhile, Ben joins the fishermen as they search for another mermaid, hoping to rescue their injured friend. When they spot movement in the water, Sean prepares to shoot, but Ben stops him, fearing they'll harm the creature. Furious, Sean and Xander accuse Ben of ruining their chance. Suddenly, strange sounds echo beneath the boat. Ben dives in to investigate and discovers a high-tech device emitting the noises. Bringing it to the surface, they realize it's a camera and tracking system. Someone is secretly monitoring the mermaids. Later, Rin sheds her tail and spends the night by a tree before meeting Helen again. She tells Helen she's searching for her missing friend. Meanwhile, Ben explains everything to Maddie, showing her footage of Rin attacking him. Without the video, she wouldn't have believed him. At the same time, Xander gives the mysterious device to Calvin, asking him to figure out what it is. Helen buys proper food for Rin after seeing her struggle with human meals. That evening, Ben talks to his father, Ted, about their family legacy. Ted dismisses the mermaid stories, calling them myths, and suggests their ancestor Charles might have been schizophrenic, explaining the old rumors. Meanwhile, Xander visits Calvin to check on the device, but is shocked to discover it has been stolen. Unbeknownst to them, Ben is the one who took it. Ben takes the machine to Helen, who has just returned with food for Rin. When Ben turns the device on, it emits a strange sound that makes Rin lose control. The sound resembles a mermaid's distress call. At the Military Research Center, Ren's captured friend is also in pain as scientists extract too many samples from her spine. When Ren enters the room, Ben quickly turns off the machine. Everyone realizes that Ren is searching for her sister. Meanwhile, Dale continues investigating a recent murder case. Reports mention a mysterious girl wandering the town whom no one recognizes. That night, Dale returns home and discusses the case with Maddie and Ben, who immediately suspect Ren might be responsible for the murder. Elsewhere, Ren finds torn pages in Helen's house describing the brutal methods humans once used to kill mermaids. She also discovers a dagger. Around the same time, Chris regains consciousness at the military facility and secretly uses a nurse's phone to send an SOS to Xander. Xander interrupts Calvin, who is busy with his girlfriend, and informs him about Chris's message. Together, they contact Ben. Meanwhile, Maddie tells Helen about the body that was found. Helen reveals that Ren might have snuck out the previous night with the dagger. When Ben and Maddie confront Ren, she loses control and throws Maddie several feet across the room. Ben steps in, warning Ren not to hurt anyone because she is far stronger than humans. Helen cautions them never to leave Ren alone. If the world discovers her, things will turn very dangerous. She reminds them that history has shown what happens when humans and mermaids collide. Soon after, Xander and Calvin track the SOS signal to the nurse's phone. At the same time, Dale finds the bloodstained jacket Ren stole on the night of the murder. He shows it to its owner, who instantly recognizes it and helps create a sketch of Ren. At the military lab, a scientist named Alden experiments with mermaid DNA. He injects it into a paralyzed rat and is stunned when the rat recovers completely overnight. Alden realizes he has discovered something groundbreaking. Meanwhile, Ben and Maddie spend more time with Ren, learning about her world. She reveals that she always fights in water, that many others like her exist, and she demonstrates remarkable intelligence, solving puzzles and exceeding human limits in physical tests. At the same time, Xander and Calvin follow the nurse to the military lab, where Chris and the captured mermaid are being held. After running some tests, Ben and Maddie leave Ren briefly to talk with Xander. When they return, Ren is gone. They soon learn from a coworker, Jerry, that he took Ren to a party at the military lab. Ben and Maddie rush there, finding Ren drunk. To their horror, she falls into the swimming pool. They panic, expecting her to transform, but to their relief, she stays in human form. The other partygoers join her in the pool just as the police arrive and shut the party down. Dale shows Ren's sketch to Ben, who denies knowing her. Maddie secretly hides Ren at home, warning her that the police are dangerous. Later, Maddie asks why Ren didn't transform in the pool. Ren explains that only ocean water triggers her change. She also admits that the man she killed tried to hurt her, which is why she doesn't trust humans easily. Meanwhile, Xander and Calvin return from the facility, waiting for the nurse to come home so they can force her to reveal what she knows about Chris. Back at the lab, the Admiral learns Ben stole the tracking device and tells Alden, but Alden begins to sympathize with the mermaid, noticing how weak she looks, unaware she is only pretending. The next day, she uses this opportunity to escape, stealing the nurse's clothes to disguise herself. Chris, sensing danger, escapes his bed and finds the injured mermaid. Believing she's a prisoner like him, he helps her escape. Together, they steal the nurse's car and drive off. When Alden returns, he is devastated by the chaos left behind. Meanwhile, Ben gets a call from Xander. As he and Maddie head out, Helen reveals to Ren that she herself is part mermaid, showing the scales on her leg. Later, Ben, Maddie, Xander, and Calvin reach the nurse's house but see unknown men taking the nurse's equipment. They hide, realizing something terrible has happened to her. Ren admits to Helen that bringing her sister to the surface was her fault. As her condition worsens, Ben and Maddie realize they must return her to the ocean. At the same time, Chris and the injured mermaids struggle to communicate. Both are hurt, but they know they must stay together against a common enemy. Finding a place with a phone signal, Chris calls Xander and Calvin for help. Ben and Maddie give Ren a tracking device to follow her movements. They soon learn Chris has been found. Rushing to the location, they see Ren run to her injured sister. Ben helps Chris into Xander's car, and despite his injuries, Chris refuses to go to the hospital. Xander and Calvin agree to take him to a bit instead. Finally, Ren reunites with her sister. The two embrace, then swim into the ocean, regaining their strength and freedom. Ben and Maddie watch from the shore, realizing the two mermaids are not just companions, they are sisters. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the story. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos.